everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the original Tomb Raider movie all the way back from 2001.
Yes, and this classic stars Angelina Jolie as Laura Croft, with the film perfectly adapting its video game counterpart.
And before you start, be sure to like, subscribe, with notifications when these on future podcasts and we'll pause videos.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us and your support. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate all your subs and helping us to get our numbers higher.
Yes, thank you so much.
I actually saw this many, many years ago, like 2000. Like not too in the 2000s, I should say. And I liked it. And then I thought it was really odd that recently we were talking about Tomb Raider because they had the remake or the reboot on demand, and I didn't even want to see it after 5 minutes if it was even that long. And I was telling you, you really should see the original. It was really good, and I thought Angelina Jolie did a good job, and it was full of action and everything that makes that type of movie great. And I also have played the game, and I thought they did a good job in adapting it. And then lo and behold, you end up getting it for Christmas.
Yes, and it was a very unexpected gift. So finally had watched it not so long after the holiday, and it turned out to be a really great film. Definitely much better and more engaging than the 2018 one. And as you said, I really wanted to watch it because after seeing that, it's like you need to see the original, which is a lot in the case for a lot of these remakes now. You would demand to see the original if you've never seen it. And you can tell there's a huge difference in the tone, and the action, and the character, and everything between the original and the new one. And for here, they pretty much made the movie for anybody who loved the game or loved these action-adventure movies that were like Indiana Jones. And that seemed to be the thing they were going for. While the remake just kind of had this very odd tone where it was just like, she's a tough woman, and then that's the entire theme of the movie. She's a tough woman, don't mess with her, she'll punch you in the face. Well, here it's like it doesn't draw attention to anything, but she wants to find this artifact and things that her father left.
Quickly on the remake, it's almost as if they wanted to be the exact opposite of what the game was meant to be.
Yeah.
And they succeeded. So in that they were successful. It was nothing like the original movie or the game.
Yeah.
Now that being said, if you've ever played Tomb Raider, that are out there, Laura Croft is the main character in the game, and she's the daughter of someone who goes around and looks for artifacts and things like Indiana Jones, and she ends up on her own quest looking for her in honor for that.
Yeah.
And so this movie, the first thing that struck me as interesting is that they tried to make sure that the actress looked like the game character. Angelina Jolie was really as close as you could get. I do remember people were like, wow, okay, that was really good casting, but can she do the acting? Can she perform? I think she did a good job.
Yeah.
And she did a good job not only being a strong woman, being intelligent, and yes, she was beautiful, but she also did a really good job in performing as the character from the game.
Yeah.
Giving it, I guess, a more human person, giving the character a more human-like personality.
Right.
Instead of being in the game.
Right.
I thought she did a good job. And I thought they had the actual costume really good for the time.
Like I said, it was 2001, you know how graphics were back then. Nothing wrong with that, that's just how it was at the time. And at the time, it seemed like they really wanted to make it look like it came to life. Like they would still do what you have to do in the game and the levels and fighting the bad guys, but they tried to make it where it was more exciting seeing on screen than just playing it. Because in comparison, it's like you're doing Mordecai and Rigby and playing a little game and little bitty things are happening, but you got either in the theater or on DVD or other home releases, and it's on a bigger screen, you're seeing an actual person do these things, and it was more about capturing that same feeling you had when you play the game, which is why it plays so straightforward and it doesn't try to throw in anything extra. It's one of those save the world type adventure movies.
And I do like how she did some of the motions and the action. It was like in the game itself. What was really interesting about this movie is before it became like it is now, where you gotta have a big name star, even if they're nothing like the character, even if they can't portray the character accurately,
Right.
they gotta have the essence of it. They really worked really hard to make it one-to-one as possible.
Right.
The most interesting actors in it for me were one, John Voight, who was actually her real life dad, playing her dad in the movie, and two, a very, very young Daniel Craig before he became famous for not only just as an actor but also as Jamie Bond.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, it's baby Daniel Craig.
And to me, it was like almost unrecognizable. It was like he was so different between this movie and now. It was just, of course, you would know who he is and know who he looks like 20-some years ago. But it was just a surprise. I did not expect to see him in here. And as you said, everyone played the role well. I didn't feel like they were like mocking the people who like the game. They weren't trying to make it more than it is, add things that didn't help advance or enhance the story like a lot of movies do now. It's just like, hey, people like the game, we made it into a movie, and that's it. And for being what it was, it did well.
And it wasn't much fan service. They had her in the shower. You didn't
Yeah.
see anything.
So it was
You
safer
saw her
for
back. And that was it.
Yeah, and it was really safer for some younger viewers to watch. Not little kids or anything, because they still had the bad guys that want to take over the world. They shot a person. So not that young, but it was still close to being an all-audience type movie, so as many people could see it as possible.
Definitely.
But a lot of times now you have to really restrict. You can't see under this age, and now that age thing is starting to get further and further up because of how much they put into a movie now.
Now, this was also a really great way for you to see Angelina Jolie's acting prior to her other roles that she did later and became more famous for, like Girl Interrupted, which is a really great movie. One of her best performances. She got an Oscar nomination. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, she did with Brad Pitt and Jones, and other roles that she did that became her trademark roles.
Right.
This was like her starting, and I think she really did a good job showing that she could encompass doing multiple things in a movie, not just doing one thing or having to be this one, I guess, have this one personality trait. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I personally think she did a good job,
Right.
and she looked good doing it, and you really couldn't. It was kind of hard to know when she was doing stunts herself and when he had a stunt double. I remember you mentioning that, and you said it's not obvious. You kind of just know because of the difficulty of the stunt.
Right.
It's not like sometimes now you see it and it's like Artemis Fowl. You got a 36-year-old man pretending to be Artemis on the water skiing, and it's like, well, he looks nothing like him. Face, body, nothing, and you expect us to believe this is the same kid playing Artemis.
Right.
It wasn't like that.
Right. And one more comparison I definitely want to point out is that, usually they have a character death in a movie. One of the rules they said, if you're gonna make it, if you're putting it, you don't really need a death in a lot of the movies and stories, but if you have it, one of the rules is make it advance the story, like there's a reason why it happened. And for here, it was her starting a journey to find this piece that the villain group wanted. And it was more impactful here than the remake, because what they decided to do for the remake, from what we had seen from reviews and they show footage, the dad is actually alive. In the original, it's clear he's gone, and Voltron made a reference to that with Kiva. That was hilarious. But the new one, the dad was alive, but I thought he was gone. But she never looked for him, which didn't make sense. And
she starts up like she's wildcat boxing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's
right.
going on?
And the dad was written to be like he was ashamed to reveal he wasn't gone. But at first they made it seem like the villains were keeping him captive, and it was against his will. But the more it got into it, the more it was like, well, he was too afraid to do anything, and the daughter had to save it. And it wasn't like, oh, the daughter's gonna save the dad she thought was gone. No, they treat it like, oh, the stupid dad got in trouble, now she's gotta rescue him. And it stopped being something heroic. It was more like she's gotta go rescue a weaker person who really shouldn't be weak, given what you established character to be. For the original, you established this character to be strong and intelligent even though they're gone. And then the remake, you have him be intelligent but not strong enough to hold his own or get any help whatsoever.
Which really is ironic, since the character in the game and in the movie, they made it very clear for you that she was inspired by him. She wanted to be like him.
Right.
She wanted to imitate her dad. So then, if that's the case, then you got the new one. You said, like, he's weak and she's strong.
How'd that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong. How'd that work?
So what would you say is the best thing that you liked about this Tomb Raider?
I think I like the overall tone. It didn't go up and down and try to mix a bunch of different genres together or appeal it to anything else aside from the people that love the original game. And they made it feel like an adventure movie or an adventure game. It kept that tone the whole time with globe trotting, figuring out the clues and mysteries, stopping the villains. It really kept to that style, and I was really happy to see a movie, even though it was much older, that was sticking to what it's supposed to be and not trying to go be something else or be better or insult, make a statement. It was just a movie telling a story and providing great action, which is something you really miss now.
I was going to say that I miss movies like this, and Indiana Jones franchise and other movies that had that element, you said, of having the action and the suspense and sometimes you would call them adventure movies.
Yeah.
Having the adventure. And they don't make those anymore. When they
Right.
do make them, they're loaded with violence, graphic violence, murders, deaths, and things that really shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
You know, things happen within the story, but they lose the focus, as you said, on it being an adventure movie and turn into something else. So yeah, we've been seeing movies like this.
Right.
Now, if you've seen Tomb Raider, let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you like Angelina Jolie's performance? Did you recognize Stephen Craig like I did? Let us know. We really want to hear your thoughts. If you haven't, go to your local dollar store, or some used to be a dollar store
Or
in
Amazon.
your area, and you'll probably find it really cheap because it's from 2001, or Amazon, but you get a better price at the dollar store.
Right.
And come back and let us know what you think.
And if you have a very subscribe for updates, we can visit their anime series, animation shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And also, if you want us to check out your channel, tell us the link in the comments below. Leave a link, click on it, check you out, and support you as well.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.